Oh yeah, it is that time again. Let's check that mic. It's in there. You ready? Here we go, baby. Okay, so this is Expat Unchained. Luke Brandon, also known as MGTOW Expat, out of Phnom Penh, Cambodia. This morning it is recording the second video in a row here. I got a lot to say. It's 8 a.m. I closed the window so you can get some good lighting. Isn't that nice? It's going to be hot, but I also tuned the noise out from the traffic because I not only closed the drapes, I actually closed the window. Oh yeah. So we are in for it now. I got a video commission again today, and really brought it out of me. I had a lot to say. I guess because I haven't been making much videos while I'm in this digital gulag that I've been thrown in by our overlords. What else? I just have a lot to say, so strap yourselves in, boys and girls, because here we go. So, I got a video commission today from an anonymous repeat donor who has been very loyal to Expat Unchained. And I appreciate him very much. What he has to say today is, "Hey buddy, just checking in to let you know that I'm thinking about you and hoping you're doing well over there. Also, more selfishly, my time to fly to Khmer land is approaching. And of course, I need to make a dang decision on where I'm going when I get there. Anyway, it's probably going to be PP, and then exploratory trips in and out of there. But if you could present about Phnom Penh versus Siem Reap versus Kampot," get my pronunciation right there, "well, that would be swell. Would love to get your angle." The angle of the dangle, yeah! Okay, what do we got? So a lot of this, all of course, just depends on what your priorities and tastes are, what you're looking for, what type of person you are. There is a place in Cambodia for any type of person, especially if you have a good budget to live any kind of lifestyle you want to live. Money talks and BS walks. Mic is plugged in. We're good to go. Okay. So the ultimate and perfect place for me, the exact right balance, my little slice of paradise used to be Sihanoukville. But that's all history now. Ooh. I don't want to get those weird... I heard myself swallow and I was thinking, oh, I don't want to be like Stefan Molyneux and get those weird... Like that's when I listened to Molyneux. He was like my hero until recently. Alex Jones has taken the place. But anyways, those weird, intimate swallowing and licking noises are constant. Not as much on the call-in shows. Those are I prefer those more now. But when I hear myself swallow, I think, oh God, don't be like Steph. It's constant. It makes me sick. I love it, but God, man, did something about that noise. So it's just where you want to live. Just depends on what kind of person you are. Sihanoukville used to be my slice of paradise, but that's all history now. Those days are over. Those days are over. Ever since the hostile Chinese invasion, takeover, and occupation, which kicked off in full force and full hostility in May 2017. Take a break here, huh? Cheers. Coffee is for closers. So Phnom Penh, where I am now, where I have come to call home, huh? Phnom Penh. So I retreated to Phnom Penh finally in November 2017. After I realized there was no more hope for a decent non-Chinese person in that town anymore, Sihanoukville, unless you're just a tourist looking to get drunk and high, but there's no more long-term life there for anyone not Chinese. Casey Kasem, jumping in here and there, the Casey Kasem impression. I retreated to Phnom Penh finally, to PP, after being run out of many different hotels by the Chinese infestation, and there was literally no more places for me to stay. Once again, like I said on the last video, I'm trying a new technology here. I got a little teleprompter kind of set up here. That would be the iPad, which still not have it perfected yet. I can't find the exact right equipment that I want. I can't remember the name of the one I saw on Google, Yokohama or something like that, but where you could put the tablet directly under the phone. So I'm using the phone to record. This is going to be a long one, like I said. Got a lot to say, and I hope my phone has enough space to take all this heat. Where was I? Not for a non-Chinese person in Sihanoukville. There was literally no more places for me to stay there. So I went to Phnom Penh, where you can get anything you want, and there is no shortage of excitement to be found. Where I had already spent many months residing previously, I knew exactly where I liked to be, and I knew exactly how to live cheap and in a good routine away from the tourists and away from other expats as much as humanly possible. I hope you don't mind me looking up as I read my script that I wrote. I'm a writer, damn it. I just swore. Okay, so I didn't move halfway around the world because I enjoy the company of sissy, politically correct Westerners or their stupid ways. No. I have a great routine here in Phnom Penh where I save as much as I can on this little piddly meager income that I have, and I go out of my way so that I come across white faces pretty much as seldom as possible. Tourists act stupid and disrespectful to everyone except for their tourist friends. Gosh almighty. And other expats are mostly leftist Marxists, down with the goofy white guilt cause, basically all the way to their own extinction. They're pretentious, black-hearted, dead inside, and mostly all with serious alcohol and drug dependencies, in terrible shape, jealous, and bitter. That's the expats. Anyway, I always get away on a tangent when I start talking about my fellow expats, which fit in the same pattern and stereotype in all countries around the world. And also when I talk about the idiot, narcissistic tourists. Let's get back to the point here. Deciding to stay long-term in Cambodia and where exactly to do it. Okay. So like I said, this all comes down to your priorities, your tastes, your budget, and what kind of lifestyle you want. What kind of person you are is what this depends on. If you want to have a quiet and relaxed, chill atmosphere, peaceful and serene, close to nature, you obviously do not want to live in the capital city of Phnom Penh. Anyone who does any kind of research for any brief amount of time whatsoever would know that automatically. But some people want to be lazy and stupid and do no research or preparation whatsoever. A recipe for failure and for a miserable experience as opposed to a rewarding one. If you are looking for excitement and thrills, adventure, something out of the Matador movie with Pierce Brosnan, one of my favorites, or like Indiana Jones when he's not actually in the jungle, or even like Mad Max Rockatansky when he's in Bartertown beyond Thunderdome. If this sounds like something you like, then PP, Phnom Penh. If you want to be in a place where you can find anything whatsoever that you might be looking for and can get literally anything, that's Phnom Penh. And with much more variety in accommodations and budgets than basically anywhere else in the country. It also makes me think of Chris Pine's line in Wonder Woman. Big fan of that DC in general. Boycott Disney, Marvel. So anyways, yeah, it makes me think of Chris Pine's line talking about London when he first shows Princess Diana of Themyscira. He shows her to London and she's like, "This is London?" It's like, it's not for everybody. So that's kind of like what Phnom Penh is for me. I enjoy it. It's not my favorite place in the world, but I love it. I love this town, as Ernie Hudson said at the end of Ghostbusters. Look at me, Mr. Movie Trivia. Okay, so where were we on my script here? I'm not gonna lie, I have a script. I wrote the script. It's better than just coming up with stuff randomly with no, So where were we? On my teleprompter setup here, that has a new approach for me. Instead of just before I was holding the tablet in front of me, not as good, not as good. So where was I? That's why I live on more on the outskirts of town in PP, where I found the perfect balance for this city without actually committing to any kind of long-term lease or security deposit. Big priority for me, I hate that. So I stay around Olympic Stadium and Orasai Market always, because that seems to be where the cheapest hotels and guest houses are, while still being kind of nice to stay in. It's a quieter part of town with less tourists, at least it used to be. An expat I met once, somebody I met joked to me that I'm staying in the suburbs of Phnom Penh. And I think there's some truth to that if you don't take it literally. You can, of course, find cheaper and even quieter parts of town if you sign a lease at an apartment. But as I've repeatedly explained many, many times, I do not like that. I don't want to do it for a variety of reasons, my own freedom being first and foremost reason why I don't want to sign a lease and get an apartment. So for almost 2 years straight now, I've lived entirely in guest houses and hotels since my divorce in Thailand, moving frequently like a gypsy, Jack Reacher lifestyle all the way, with even less money than Jack Reacher though. If you do want to get an apartment, however, that's you. For the lowest prices, I say Russian market area all the way, also known as Tutumpong neighborhood. Russian market, just any taxi driver will know that. Pretty much anybody in town will know Russian market neighborhood. It'd be cheapest nice apartments in that area. I actually saw one myself when I first moved here, and I was actually considered it. But I don't like those security deposits for one thing, and I've gone over the reasons many, many times why I don't want an apartment. So, this is not to say that you cannot find a quiet and serene place in Phnom Penh with the fastest lightning speed Wi-Fi, great amenities, great service, beautiful view, and total peace of mind. That just takes a higher budget. You can stay in a high-rise condo or hotel for prices that in the West would seem somewhat modest even. Maybe, sorry, I'm going through puberty today. Talking for a long time, 2 videos back to back. I'm BAMF. So maybe $700 a month will get you a super deluxe high roller apartment or condo for $700 a month, far above the city streets, living like Tony Stark, watching down in cool composure and total class at the humans like ants far below. Or like $35 to $40 a night for a hotel of this caliber. My highest recommendation is far and away V Hotel. V is in Victor. And there's a big V on the building on the top of it. I see it from my window right now. If I was looking out my window at this moment, I would see it, if you know what I mean. So in my neighborhood, that's where V Hotel is. Best place I've ever stayed at in all Cambodia, possibly in all Southeast Asia. It's sort of a tie with the Amari Nova in Pattaya, where I first ever stayed. And it has the finest, most professional service and staff, highest quality Wi-Fi and amenities by far. I just have to specify, always, always, always get on the highest floor you can for the best experience anywhere you go, if you like peace and quiet like me. Take a quick pause, coffee talk. Moving along now to Siem Reap. Oh yeah, Siem Reap. So I spent just over 1 month in Siem Reap, the biggest tourist destination in all Cambodia, because of the ancient temples and ruins of Angkor Wat. Remnants of an advanced civilization far beyond their time thousands of years ago, as Cambodia and the Khmer culture are essentially the foundation and beginning of all the other countries, cultures, and languages in this region of Southeast Asia. Every other place around here, Thailand, Laos, Vietnam, and so on, are all just offshoots of the original Khmer language, the original Khmer Empire and culture. A once towering dominion whose ancient ruins are literally still being discovered as we speak, hidden deep in the jungles. The setting, actually, this is actually the setting of the new movie Kingsman 2, The Golden Circle, was set in these ruins. Not Angkor Wat specifically. That was Tomb Raider, the Indiana Jones ripoff. But no, the new ruins that are undiscovered. That was set in Kingsman Part 2, The Golden Circle. Not a bad movie. Kind of anti-globalist, yeah. They couldn't do exactly what they wanted, you know, it's Hollywood, and I say boycott Hollywood. Let the beast die. So I wanted to stay longer in Siem Reap, as I've said before, but that was sadly the same month that I got thrown in the digital gulag. By this evil Marxist anti-free speech platform that we are on right now. I had a large percentage of my revenue cut off. I was cut off from all my subscriber base of over 4,000 people who liked watching my content, who still, months later, mostly have no idea what happened to me, and I have no way of reaching them. So it seems pretty clear to me that most of my audience is not MGTOW, because I have reached them already and still have hardly anybody migrated over from my original subscriber base. So I'm starting to think that my main percentage of my audience is not MGTOW. So after being financially hobbled, having my freedom of speech and my audience and my platform stripped from me, in January 2018, I had to cancel my planned expedition and video projects for Angkor Wat. And after almost 4 years of living and visiting Southeast Asia, I still have yet to witness this majestic sight and experience this for myself. It was never the top of my priorities because I essentially avoid places with lots of tourists like the plague. I avoid tourists like the plague. Not Angkor Wat, the tourists. I want to see Angkor Wat. It would be ideal if there was nobody there except me. Beautiful. Like Indiana Jones. Okay. But anyways, I wanted to take it in that month of January and make it a big video project and vicarious experience for the world. After being stripped of my platform and income, I couldn't even afford the ticket prices of something around $35 and a $10 minimum round trip cost of getting there and back, not to mention the eats and treats and possible souvenirs. So, Siem Reap, Cambodia, the setting for the beautiful ancient temples of a once advanced and great civilization. This is also the city where you will find the most English speakers in probably any other location other than the Philippines for all Southeast Asia. Lots of English speakers here in Siem Reap, and lots of white faces from Australia, Europe, America, Canada, Russia, or Eastern Europe. Lots of people looking to party, tourists, no shortage of hipsters, or even adventurers like myself. There's also Chinese, a few African, and basically persons from all over the world. But the point is, as a Westerner, this is where you will be least out of place, generally speaking, but you will always be a stranger in a strange land, no matter what you do. You will never be fully accepted by another culture anywhere in the world, no matter how well you speak the language or adopt their ways. Western whites are the only folks who make being inclusive a priority in any way. Nobody else cares about that. Western whites have taken this to a level in a suicidal fashion and to their own great detriment. But Siem Reap is where a Westerner can find the most people speaking English and the most geared towards tourists. Gosh, it's a long one. I got a lot to say. I'm going to fight my way through it, baby. Hang in there with me. Got a lot to say. And there's a good payoff in the end, some good information. So stick with me, baby. There's good information here for you. 3 different cities, a review of 3 different places, and which one you want to go to. So hang in there with me as I find where I left off here. So I believe for a long-term stay, Siem Reap is probably significantly cheaper than Phnom Penh from my research and experience. Has basically every other place in this country is cheaper than Phnom Penh on average, just like Bangkok in Thailand, except smaller on a more smaller and more homey scale, and more wild west feel. That's Phnom Penh in Cambodia. Siem Reap is in fact kind of a small town, relatively speaking, but it is always growing and under development. First-class movie theaters, malls, endless cafes, giant Western-style grocery stores, as well as the old-fashioned, large, open-air markets where you can find anything you're looking for, like Barter Town. You have a day market and you have the famous night market, both of which I have fully documented on video and vicarious experience for the world. If I had not been financially hobbled and had my freedom of speech stripped from me by the public utility monopoly and Marxist overlords on this platform, I would have stayed in Siem Reap longer for sure, but it takes a budget for experimentation and shopping around for a place you want to stay until you find your zone, that ideal balance which depends on the individual that you are. This place, Siem Reap, is far more laid back, far more quiet, far less crowded than Phnom Penh, without a doubt. But if you want to avoid tourists, this is not the ideal place to do that. It has a fun and lively nightlife, but that is limited to a few streets pretty much in a small area. But also, most of the hostels or hotels you stay at can have their own separate lively nightlife in the hotel or hostel off of the main strip of Pub Street. God, I can't stand my neighbors here. They're so loud, like scraping a little table across the floor every day and every night. I'm hearing it right now. Microphone won't pick it up, but it makes me want to kill PTSD once again. So apart from that little tangent, let's get back to Siem Reap here. You'll never run out of people to talk to and hang out with here in Siem Reap if you're not a complete misanthrope like myself. I prefer local people over most Westerners. Take a coffee break here. And we're back. Okay, mic check. Check it. Yeah, okay. Kampot and Kep. So Kampot and Kep are pretty much directly bordering each other in beautiful, vibrant, and green Cambodia. They're about 20 minutes apart for traveling time. Kampot is more of a small town, and Kep seems to be much smaller even. Excuse me. I had to burp. Much smaller even, where you can find beaches in Kep and the least amount of people, least amount of civilization and tourists. Kampot has more hotels, markets, restaurants, pubs, cafes, etc. And Kep, right next door, is where you would go, I think, for maximum quiet and peace and cheapest living, with much more limited options for shopping and supplies, and to get away from everything and everyone and be like Hemingway or Bukowski. But since they're so close together, you can very easily just hop over to the small town of Kampot anytime you like for very cheap, or be a little adventurous and hike there for free. Get some cardio and some sun, take in the scenery, which is what I might start doing if I stayed there for long. But I'm sorry to say, as I've said quite a few times before, I still have not been to Kampot or Kep. This is another direct result of my being thrown in the digital gulag and having my free speech stripped from me by the overlords here on this platform. I definitely would have gone there already if they had not cut off my revenue and my platform. I was thinking that Kampot might be the new Sihanoukville for me, my little slice of paradise, and I was also thinking I would probably actually live in Kep. because that has the higher degree of natural serene beauty and the least amount of human beings. So I could have focused on my craft in peace and natural beauty like the introverted artist that I am. But having my legs cut out from under me and deplatformed, violated, I had to once again retreat to Phnom Penh because it is a known quantity for me. On a bare bones budget, at least here I know exactly where to go and what to do to spend the least amount of money possible. Sorry. Gosh, it's a new system. Stick with me, guys. Stick with me. Let me get back to where I was. On a bare bones budget, at least here, I know exactly where to go and what to do to spend the smallest amount of money possible with zero leeway for experimentation and trying new things for the most part. So I stay here, where I'm focusing on getting my ebook edited and published. Free speech is completely dead and violated here on this platform where you're watching this video transmission today. The leftist, Marxist, anti-male platform, this leftist, Marxist, anti-male platform is ultimately the past. But for the time being, they still are definitely a public utility, the only game in town, one of the biggest and baddest monopolies in all history. They are Skynet. And I can't wait for President Trump to hopefully come after them with all guns blazing and break them up. And we can establish an Internet Bill of Rights is my best hope. I've heard that idea, and I think that's what we need, an Internet Bill of Rights. Humanity is being subjugated and controlled daily by this tech giant and those like it, where you're watching this video right now. More dangerous than any government in the world at this point, it seems, but also in full partnership and backing by all the governments of the entire globe in a joint effort to suppress and control speech and information. So, at this time, I'm actually feeling like I'm ready to get out of Cambodia, not by choice, but for a few reasons beyond my control. I want to get medical care and treatment from the Army VA facility in Manila, Philippines, being the first and foremost reason why I need to get out of here, not by choice. And also, since May of last year, the Chinese invasion has been ramping up harder and harder in Cambodia. I was at ground zero of this hostile undertaking in Sihanoukville, like I said, in 2017. But now they are moving in even harder on Phnom Penh as well. March 2018 was pretty bad last month. I have some doubts about Kampot as well. As far as I know, they could have already completely infested that place just like they did Sihanoukville. I don't know. I've not been able to get much intel on that, and I would have to go there to see for myself about that. Anywhere the Chinese invade and set up camp basically involves anywhere they invade and set up camp basically becomes uninhabitable and unwelcome for any non-Chinese person. Not to mention much, much louder and extremely rude and unfriendly. The opposite of humble. China is the ultimate test case for the globalist agenda of having a populace with no rights under complete state control. So Chinese are subsidized by globalists like Soros, Apple, all the tech giants and everything they do, given special treatment and the go-ahead for absolutely anything they want to do in the entire world, such as illegally taking over the South China Sea and literally taking over other countries' territory as their own, as they currently are moving their full military naval power into these areas. Chinese are given large uninhabited neighborhoods and cities of Canada where they raise prices on the real estate there to completely insane levels beyond all comprehension. And this happens in many countries throughout the globe. They are subsidized and given special treatment as the Chinese are the model for the ultimate controlled communist society. Their greatly overhyped, alleged strong economy is all smoke and mirrors and slave labor, as well as, of course, strong countries like America bending over backwards for China, and greatly unbalanced trade deficits brought on by people like the Clinton crime family, the Obamas, and even George W. Selling out the strong and the free to build up the ultimate model of oppression and control over a populace. China is that model. And this is why you will never hear the Marxist, leftist, SJW mainstream media criticize communist China or bring to light the god-awful things China has done and the disgusting, terrifying living conditions in China, where human life and all life has absolutely zero value. So, that was a tangent, but yeah, the ever-increasing hostile Chinese invasion and infestation is another reason I feel like I'm ready to get out of here, but mainly because I absolutely need to get treatment at the VA facility in Manila, Philippines. And finally, they are making it harder for Westerners to stay here long term, as they are making it easier for Chinese to stay here, and everybody knows it. Visas are not as easy anymore, but still easier than every other country in Southeast Asia. Keeping a visa in the Philippines is going to be expensive and arduous, even harder than Thailand, given that you can't do a border run by land in the Philippines. Their borders are all water. So you have to fly. Much more expensive and painful, human-defiling bureaucracy at every airport. So, we will see what the future holds for me. Worst case, I will go even more jack reacher, more gypsy, and continue rotating between countries here on an ongoing basis, if it becomes too hard to keep a visa anywhere. More expensive this way, but also more exciting. I hope this helps. I do my best for a video commission. Once again, as always, I'll make a video on anything you like for a minimum $20 contribution to the cause of truth, justice, and the American way. For the freedom and prosperity of all mankind. This is my cause here. For a video commission, currently there is a slower turnaround time as I'm in author mode now, focusing on getting my upcoming book out, like I said. There will be updates on that, obviously, but it's going to take some time. Fully in the technical phase now, editing, formatting, footnotes, bibliography, etc. The part that I know how to do, the part that's easy, flowing, and fun for me, the writing, that's all done. Been done for almost a year already. Now I'm on to the boring and unfamiliar part, technical stuff. Not my gift or my passion at all, that part. But once I get this first one out, this first book out, actually it's going to be two. Once I get this one out, the following books won't be so hard to finish. Clearly, I can't afford an editor or anything like that. I'm wearing all the hats in this one-man operation here. Other than video commissions, I now also offer expat consultation services for a monthly fee, where you can ask me whatever you want on a daily basis for $50 a month. Most likely, you just want consultation on how to be an expat and the nitty-gritty details of how to get there yourself to make it happen. But my experience is obviously extensive and wide-ranging. You can ask me anything as your personal expat consultant at $50 a month. That's for daily email correspondence. Otherwise, I will do voice or video consultation calls for $50 an hour. I'm at your disposal. Ask me anything, just set up a time. Links and contact info is down below in the description, as always. Let's see. Coming along to the end now here. We made it, didn't we? We made it. I also do the Expat Unchained Tour Guide and Wingman experience for $200 a day, where I will meet up with you anywhere you like here in Cambodia. If you're stopping by the same town I happen to be in at the time, which is currently Phnom Penh, of course. And you get me all day as a tour guide and a wingman. I'll go anywhere you want in town, as long as it's legal and reasonably safe. And that fee covers my expenses, my time, and the value, knowledge, and vast experience that I bring. I can make videos. We can make videos together too, if you like, as a part of this package, like I did with Vention and Chris Cantu and Miggy. If you get the Expat Unchained wingman and tour guide experience, I'll do whatever you want. Gay sex, just kidding. I'm not going to do that. Okay. So sometimes it's fun to improvise, but improvising also tends to lead me into the uncensored territory where they're going to block me and ban me and all that fun stuff on this awesome platform. So guys, I'm not looking to make BFFs or pen pals here. People constantly offer to buy me dinner if I meet up with them, but that's not something I enjoy, meeting every stranger who's ever seen my videos if there's no benefit for me. I also, oh God, my neighbors. I also get a lot of emails asking for tips and advice on expat related stuff mostly, but the heck? But that would be a major obligation to respond to all those with no reward for me also, to take the time and energy to respond for free to all those messages and emails. I'm not running a charity here, guys. My time, my knowledge, and my abilities are worthwhile and valuable, and I'm talking about value for value. That's the only thing that's fair for both of us. Not some tireless, saintly charity organization for random strangers, sorry. So hit me up if you need some consultation service on expat life or anything at all, or if you need a cheap tour guide and wingman service. I'm at your disposal, gentlemen or ladies. All right, so we are at the end here. Thanks for hanging in there with me if you made it this far. Do some final plugs. I want to say thank you to Mr. Eddie Imperial for your continued support and donations. You are the man from Houston, Texas. I also have affiliate products like Viagra, CIALIS, MODAFINIL. That's going to be in the links down below. Handle your own business. I'm just offering you these products at extremely affordable prices. Use Bitcoin. What else? So I just want to say, just because you don't see me here on this platform doesn't mean I'm not working. Oh God, I got a little notification while I'm filming here. Doesn't mean I'm not working if you don't see me here. A book like I'm doing now can reach a lot of people and without censorship. I'm doing this for all of us, and I need your help in funding this resistance for the freedom and rights and enlightenment of all mankind. Truth, justice, and the American way, Veritas. So, help me out any way you can, whether it's donations, signing up for my consultation or wingman service, or just buying products from my affiliates that you like and enjoy and needed to get anyways. I need your support to help fund this operation. This is a win-win when you do that. Big things are coming very soon. Keep your eyes peeled and watch my Facebook and Twitter pages for daily updates. Links are in the description, as always, for my Facebook, my Twitter, pretty much any social media thing. I'm on a lot of stuff. Mines, which I can't upload to right now with this terrible Wi-Fi I have here. But keep on my Facebook page for Expat Unchained and Twitter, Expat Unchained. I post a lot of fun and interesting stuff, but also for updates on what is coming your way. The big thing's coming very soon. Very soon. So, one moment. I think that's all we have for today, guys. I want to say thank you for coming by again today. Thank you for that. Share the videos. Like, comment, just share, subscribe. You know the drill. If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance. I want to tell you today to take back your life, take back your freedom, and take back your manhood.